Most of us don't know the difference between the number of calorie intake and the macro and micronutrient intake. There may be a little bit of confusion between these two, and a question may arise whether to eat low number of calories or to take high nutrient intake content. So without further delay, let's get started into the video. Welcome back guys, and this is Mohnish, and in today's video we are going to see about how the macro and micronutrients work in our body. Common mistake most of us make during this weight loss journey is be on a calorie deficient diet, which helps us to make the weight loss happen. But what we don't know is we consider only the amount of calorie intake and ignoring the macro and micronutrients in our food. Most of us have the habit of eating cereals such as cornflakes and oats, which has the same amount of calories such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains and nuts. But what it differs is the nutrient content which it contains. Like this, many of the foods are available in this list. Both the calorie intake and the macro and micronutrient intake is also essential during this weight loss journey. First one is the amount of calories. So calories is the amount of energy required by the body to do our day-to-day activities. An average adult requires 1200 to 1300 calories per day to perform their day-to-day activities. And apart from that, if the person performs some other physical activities, they may be required to take a larger amount of calories than required. When you take any type of food, it acts as an calories in our body. Being on a calorie deficient diet makes us to make the weight loss happen by cutting our calories down and taking the overall nutrient intake required for our body. Till now, we are seeing about the calories and the required amount of calories for our body. The question is, if we be on a calorie deficient diet and will it make the weight loss happen? Definitely not. So for weight loss to happen, you will need the sufficient amount of macro and micronutrients essential for our body. First, what is macronutrient? How it works in our body, and what are the foods that contain these macronutrients. Macronutrients are the large amount of energy which is essential for our body to perform any activity. These macronutrients, which are carbohydrate, fats and protein, all these macronutrients are provided to our body in a form of food, and it cannot be produced on its own by our body. Carbohydrates, fats and proteins are the main supplier for these macronutrients, and each one has its own different functions. The first macronutrient is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are mentioned as the quickest energy form which is produced our body because they are quickly break down into our body in the form of glucose, which is used by our muscles to function our body. Carbohydrates are mainly found in healthy and both unhealthy foods, which are divided as simple and complex carbohydrates. Most of us don't know this small difference, but this small difference makes a huge change in our diet. Here, simple carbohydrates or bad carbs release the glucose or sugar content very quickly into our body because they come from processed or refined food items and don't contain any type of vitamins or minerals. They are low in nutrients, high in calories, high in saturated fat and low in fiber content. The foods which contain these simple carbohydrates are breads, cakes and sugary items. Complex carbohydrates are good carbohydrates are the one which release the glucose or sugar content more slowly than the simple carbs and are fulfilled with the sufficient amount of nutrients which are required for our body. They are high in fiber and nutrient content and also very low in calories. Foods that contain complex carbohydrates are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and nuts. Second macronutrient is proteins. Proteins are made up of amino acids which are used to segregate certain hormones and build antibodies in our immune system. Unlike carbohydrates, protein are not a direct source of energy, but it is used to form different structures in our body. Proteins, when taken in a correct amount, not only helps us in weight loss but also helps us prevent many health issues. Proteins are found in various animal and plant-based products such as fish, eggs, chickens, lentils, and nuts. Last macronutrient is fats. So we tend to have a thinking that fats are not good for our health, but it is wrong. We need essential amount of good fats for our body to function. So fats are divided into two parts, which is saturated and unsaturated fats. Unsaturated fats are essential to regulate our blood flow and improve our immune system and for delivering vitamins such as A, D, and E. Also, saturated fats should be taken in a very small amount because it provides us with good cholesterol, which plays an important role in hormonal production such as estrogen and testosterone. Foods which contain essential good fats are dairy products such as milk, cottage cheese or paneer, ghee, butter, and foods such as nuts and chia seeds. With these above mentioned macronutrient, try to take a mix of these three to regulate and maintain a healthy body. Next one is micronutrient. Micronutrient is a small amount of energy which is required by our body. It mainly consists of vitamins and minerals. Vitamin is the most important thing because it releases the energy from the food that we intake. It helps us build strong bones and improve our digestive system. Also, vitamins such as A, D, and E helps our immune system and protect the damaged cells in our body. Foods that contain vitamins are green vegetables, nuts, and fish oil. Next micronutrient is minerals. So minerals are very important because it helps to maintain the correct water content in our body. It also helps us to improve the oxygen supply in our body. There are a lot of minerals which we can intake from our food such as calcium, iron, potassium and sodium, which helps us to maintain our blood pressure level. Foods that contain minerals are seafoods, mushrooms, lentils, beans and nuts. A mixed quantity of both the macro and micronutrients enables proper function of our body. Whatever you eat in better quality rather than quantity, and track your daily food intake by dividing the macro and micronutrients in a food by using the mobile application MyFitnessPal app available in the Play Store, and I will provide the link here in the description box. Do check it out. So that's all for today's video, guys. Hope you all like this video, and in this video we have seen about the essentials of macro and micronutrients which are in our food. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment for more videos. Thank you, guys.